Hello, arty peoples, and welcome to the third week of my residency here in Orcuvo, France. Now, it did start off on a little bit of a somber note. My friends, and now I guess really I should call them family, the people I had the privilege to spend the first 2 weeks of my time here with, have officially gone. Some people spend 2 weeks here, some people have the ability to spend 4. Whatever works best for you as an artist, but we had a good amount of people in our first group that were only here for 2 weeks, so they have gone, and I'm a little sad about it, but we do have a new group of people coming in, and I figured I would take advantage of a beautiful day and show you this side of the property. So there is a road, just like the other side, that leads to a gatehouse and beautiful views. And if you do stop before you get all the way to the gatehouse and turn to the little foresty area, you'll see a little bit of a hidden path. Now, this is only one of several little areas that you can hike around in and kind of explore. There's all kinds of little hidden gems on this property. It's really, really cool. But this is probably one of my favorites, not only because it's very accessible, but also it just makes you feel like you're immediately in like Sherwood Forest or someplace that's just really magical. And if you do stop about halfway down and just peek up just a little, you're going to see a bird's nest, which is really cool. So there's all kinds of, wildlife in here, foxes, birds, yes, bugs, but the cats like to romp around in here, and there's enough activity that, keeps the bugs down, but it's really just such a cool little hidden gem that if you don't know it's there, you can miss it. But the best part about it is this view at the end. You walk out to these really fun sculptures, and then you see the water and the hills and the trees that are changing colors. And this right here is what it looks like from the other side. But it's really fun little path. But if you continue along the path down by the water over to the right, you will find yourself at a really, really fun project. Now, it is a project that is in progress, of course, but this is called the Hermitage. And you're going to see, there's Remy. Remy is amazing, beautiful soul. He is definitely a Mr. Fix-It. He can fix anything. He's very handy. But he is helping the people who are building this, which is a collaboration between a gentleman named Andre and Ziggy, the owner of the chateau. So you're going to see Andre here in just a second working diligently on the wall. But what this is going to be like a little hermit house. There he is. So also, Andre is an amazing painter, which his artwork is very different from the Hermitage that he's building here. But it is a freestanding kind of house structure where they're laying it literally stone by stone. And the stones that they got are there's the large boulders that came from the local quarry, and the stones themselves, you can see there's in piles around the Hermitage right there, but those are from different areas of France that have been knocked down, or, the wall was no longer structurally sound, so they had to, take it apart. And so they're almost like recycling France into a whole new structure, which is so cool. And there's Baby, the cat, who is also the resident hunter. But yeah, so this is an ongoing project where Andre is going to slowly build it up every year that he comes. And it's going to be really interesting to see the progress as it goes year by year. A little further over to the right of the Hermitage is the boathouse, which is such a cool building. So different from anything I've ever seen, but they have paddle boats for you to actually go out on the lake and use. And then to the right of that is a swimming area. Yes, you can swim in this water. Now, mind you, it is so cold. I touched it with my toe and my toe still doesn't have feeling. It's freezing. It's a natural spring, so it is very, very, very cold, even in summertime. But there's the rest of the reservoir kind of system that, travels along with water. And you can see the chateau in the background, and so pretty. And around the swimming area, you will also find these really fun mushroom sculptures that you can just kind of keep finding all throughout the property, which is really cool. But if you continue along the path, you will find, I've called it the animal house. I've also heard it called the goat house, but, more than goats live there. So there are a couple of chickens that are not very friendly. They're not going to come up and let you pet them. I tried. What will come up to greet you is the goats, specifically this goat. This goat has to say hello to you first. And if you happen to grab any leaves that are lying around, they will most definitely eat them out of your hand. Just be a little careful of how close you get, because also will attempt to eat your clothing. But this one is definitely the more dominant goat, so he will headbutt anything else that comes up to greet you. So, not gonna lie, the other animals don't want to come up because, he's a little extra. Now, to the right of their cool little rock living area is the other gatehouse. Now, this particular house has not been renovated as of right now. It's still a work in progress on all the things getting renovated around here, but the architecture is just so cool. The details of the windows and just, it absolutely just floors me with the architecture around here, and I have been just eating it all up and appreciating all the different details of the old structures. But a little over to the right of that is the gate, which if you actually do get a chance to walk up to it, it in and of itself is also a work of art. It has all those wrought iron details and the little flowers, and it's really, really stunning. But beyond the gate is the newest project. So Ziggy just acquired the apple orchard that is right across the street and was originally part of the property. Again, it's one of those things that is going to be worked on, but those apple trees are packed full of apples, and I'm excited to see, where that goes. Now, if you follow the path back along the kind of reservoir area, it will lead you back to the stables, and along the way, you're probably going to see this silly cat baby, who is most likely going to say hello and then immediately walk away from you because he's, the little too cool for school. And, he knows it. But he also likes to sit along this path and just hunt for field mice. And in just a second, he's going to give you wiggle butt and disappear. So back at my studio, I was continuing along with this large piece. So I really was just trying to knock out as much as I can. So I had the background kind of roughed in, and I didn't want to meticulously render it. But the figure, I wanted to have that impact, that wow factor, where that was very, very well rendered. And yes, you did just see Andre materialize into my studio. It was a rainy day, so I figured since he couldn't work at the Hermitage, he could come to my studio and paint. So it was really cool to kind of see his process as compared to mine. Very, very different. But I don't know if you can tell or if you put two and two together, but what I'm painting is actually Andre in the Hermitage. That's him as my model, as my evil little demon guy. And so about here, though, is where I figured out that I wanted to change the arm. Now, because he's supposed to be a demon, I figured him using a lighter was a little odd. So I wanted the flames to actually just be coming right out of his hands, out of his fingertips, because I don't know, in my head, demons can do that. So this I felt was going to go really well with the opposite side of it, with my second piece being an angel. But, I just continued along, though, blocking in more or less from the bottom up. And I was saving his hands and his face for last, mostly because I was procrastinating and also sort of working out in my head kind of how I was going to do this, because I am tweaking his skin tone. Andre has tattoos, which is not, a big deal for me to imagine not being there. But because he's supposed to be a demon, I wanted his hands to almost appear black and kind of dark. And I wanted his eyes to be the same way, but I wanted the rest of his skin tone to be kind of normal. Now, as I was blocking in the face, I did realize that I was starting to lose a lot of my drawing, and something was just off. So I started trying to figure out the anatomy of his face with using the blues just around his eyes, but kind of still keeping his bone structure, and kind of working my way around the anatomy. And I ended up getting to a point where I knew it was still off, but at this point I kind of had to just get away from it for a second. So I decided to go ahead and sketch in my second piece, rough sketch, so it's not perfect, but this is going to be my angel. Now, the angel that I am drawing was also photographed in the Hermitage, but it's a wall that has already been built up, so this wall is no longer there as it was in the photo, which is very cool to see. And I also used one of the other people that are staff here. His name is Otto, and he is literally an angel. Such a sweetheart. But I did, once I got the rough sketch in, go back to Andre's face. I knew that I had to fix the anatomy. So I just went ahead with a jumbo jet pencil and drew on top of it. Now, my paints weren't 100% dry, but don't be afraid to change what's not working in your art. You don't have to commit to struggling with the same thing over and over again. If you have to stop and walk away from it, or come back on top and literally draw on top of your painting, it's just going to help you in the long run. But after I did kind of sort that out, I wanted to paint something a little different, something a little quirky, something a little fun. Now, this is a photo of one of my new friends that is now in the chateau. This is Janine as her alter ego, Donatella. She had put on this just fabulous bubblegum pink wig and this bright red tutu and was walking around with her wine like she was just the funniest character ever. And I snapped a photo of her. Also, yes, you did just see the lights go out there. When I was painting this, a huge storm rolled in, and unfortunately, you're not going to see the end of this whole painting. I am going to finish that next week, I swear, but I was trying to rush back to the chateau before the rain really, really, really hit a little harder. So, but this was just a fun painting of Janine as Donatella. And I very much had a blast with the pink hair and everything. But I definitely realized, though, I needed to separate the really warm colors from that background. Now, the background was not bright white gray kind of a color. I chose that because it was on the cooler side. And I thought with those warmer colors that would work really well. But I really, really satisfying when you block in those big chunks of color and kind of fix the anatomy of the cup and everything. But this is about where I left my paintings for the week. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing the property and kind of what I was doing and enjoying my painting process. But if you did like it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see the final video and when that's posted. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.